keep trying to not mind her business.
I don't think it's ridiculous to think about the fact that water might fall from the sky. I mean, it happens.
Vanya said, hey, can you make it rain tomorrow?
You know, as much as Brandon's parents, or especially Betty, can be heavily involved in their life, sometimes you can't knock when somebody's making a good point, you know. End of the day, Brandon and Julie are going to have a ceremony of their marriage again. So her parents are there, something like that. And obviously Julie has planned it all by herself and she doesn't want no one else's help. But obviously Betty just does mention the fact that, hey, you know, because it's outside, really and truly should have a plan B for if the weather's bad, you know what I'm saying? So if it does rain, then there should be a plan B of where you can do it elsewhere. That's indoors. But Julia isn't looking to listen to none of that advice, you know, or none of that knowledge. So therefore here, she's low-key being petty, saying, well, your mum's clearly praying for it to rain tomorrow. I mean, like I said, there were many times Betty does way too much, okay? But there's times when, to be fair, you can't really ignore what she's saying because it's a solid point. But hey, let's get into it.
So, but that is, if you have your wedding, you will be do that. So, I already planned what I want to do. О том, что вы переехали бы к нам.
На постоянно.
So, obviously, Julie this whole time has been trying to fight Brandon for the idea of her parents moving to the USA and obviously being on a permanent basis, especially given the fact that they are going to have a child, okay? Obviously, one of the things that they spoke about and promises they made each other when they were on the last resort was that if they do if Julie does go and get another checkup to see if she can get pregnant and they do try to obviously have a child, well, then she would like her parents to be in the USA as well. So therefore, they can be there to be grandparents to their child as well as just Brandon's parents. So obviously, you know, Julia's been fighting the argument for a very long time because Brandon has been against it. To now find out, she's finally said to her parents that, listen, I want you guys to stay here, you know, for long-term purposes. And the dad goes, I don't think I'll be able to move permanently. So I guess that there itself in particular was 100% a stinker for her. But it doesn't mean that the mother can't, because obviously Julie's parents aren't together anyway. Do you know what I mean? They broke up a long time ago. So obviously sad for her that the father said, I don't think I'll be able to move permanently. Obviously spoke for himself. Regarding Julia's mother, on the other hand, she didn't actually say anything about not being able to do it. But yet, obviously, the reaction that Julie gives is based on the fact that both of her parents aren't willing to move to the USA. Which I get it. It is annoying for her. It is sad for her because she obviously would want her parents to be around the birth of her kid, or their child, should I say, and obviously want her parents to be there to help raise, of course, you know, obviously their grandchild, you know what I mean? Which does make a lot of sense. Why wouldn't you want that? And also, most importantly, she wouldn't want to have to rely on Brandon's mom, most importantly, because relying on Brandon's mom, on the other hand, means that Julia's going to have to pretty much start liking Betty or to put up with her even more, but you know that Betty's going to be there even more. So I do believe that, you know, Julia wanted her parents to be there as a way to counteract Brandon's parents always being so heavily involved. But I guess that plan itself has backfired. But again, like I said, the statement made by the father was regarding himself. Julia's mother didn't actually say anything, but they all proceeded as if both parents said no. So I do wonder if there's going to be a twist to that kind of conversation. Is her mother going to be like, nah, it's okay, I will still stay here? I guess that's something that we have to wait and find out if we ever get to that point of finding out. I guess if we're not told that, then I guess it's both parents not willing to move to the USA, which is fine. Obviously, if they're both happy in Russia, then they're both happy in Russia. Either way, though, let's continue.
Я, наверное, не смогу.
Вы мне сейчас этой новостью, поэтому лучше нужно пойти отдохнуть сейчас. Just ask them if they want to eventually move here, and them told me no.
And like I said, obviously, Julia responds, says, obviously, well, acts as if they both said no. So I guess maybe the mum said no and they just didn't put that on screen. But like I said, it could be an unexpected spin at some point. That would be a good thing for Julia, because I wouldn't want to be raising my child knowing that Brandon's parents are always going to be there. If I was a woman, of course. Biological woman, just putting it out there. Yes. Don't want people get confused about any transitions happening here. Not here, buddy. Anyway, let's continue.
I think we should get through in this ceremony, and then we can move forward, and we can focus on our family. Now, the thing is that we need to focus on ours.
The maddest thing about it is obviously each time Julia comes to Brandon to confide in him, especially anything that involves her family or her body, the guy, he always just thinks of himself. He didn't even try and comfort her. He didn't even try and say to her, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Obviously, your parents want to leave and they don't want to. Or I'm so sorry your parents don't want to stay here on a permanent basis. But obviously, you've got me. You've got my parents. You see what I'm saying? That would have been better than his reaction. His whole reaction was, well, we shouldn't be focusing on your parents anyway. We should be focusing on. I was like, bruh. This guy is so self-centered and so driven to having a child. He doesn't even care about his wife. If his wife's well-being in the situation, it's actually nasty work.
I don't have my support. I mean, even if you have a third family, I want them help me. Who gonna be support me?
It's crazy though, because as soon as Julia said who's gonna support me, it was obvious what Brandon was gonna say. You know what I mean? My parents, duh. You know what I mean? But that's all he cares about. All he cares about is having a child and his parents being there. He doesn't give a Scooby about the challenges that she's gonna have to go through as a woman for the pregnancy, and nor does he care about the fact that her parents aren't gonna be here, nor does he care that she's not gonna be able to have memories raising their child with her parents. All the memories are gonna be raising their child with just his parents. You see what I'm saying? And also, let's not forget, going to Russia right now isn't exactly something that is easy as 1, 2, 3 neither. So it's not like they're gonna travel every year or two to go and visit her parents. Do you see what I'm saying? When the baby's born. But Brandon could care less. It's as if his parents raised him to find a woman to give him a child, and that's it. Nothing else but that.
Who gonna help me?
My parents could be that support in place. We support anything we do with kids because they also want grandkids.
No shit. We know they also want grandkids. Oh my goodness gracious me. I don't think Julie really understands the family that she married into. Listen, I always say to people, be careful with the family you marry into. Okay? It's very key. Very, very key. Don't marry someone just because you like them. Make sure you like their family as well. If you don't like their family, it's going to be a long day for you. I mean, this is why so many people marry into the wrong family, and then the person they marry ends up taking them away from their family. Do you see what I'm saying? I've seen it so many times. I'm pretty sure that some of you folks right now, literally you marry somebody and you've had to disown your own family because your partner doesn't like your family. You probably won't even tell you probably won't even admit this to yourself because you've been brainwashed so much to believe that your family is a sin to your relationship that you just accepted it. But deep down you actually miss your family. But it is what it is. We all make our choices.
I'm just sick of everything right now because everything is falling apart. Everybody already have a bad mood.
Well, I mean, end of the day, none of this stuff is surprising. Do you know what I mean? It's all expected. So I texted, I had to look at it. But anyway, the matter of fact is though, Julia should have been careful about who she was marrying into, the family that she was married into. But either way though, we know that Julia's pregnant now. And even though I don't want to see them for another season, I'm expecting to see these two for another season of something. So I guess we're going to find out obviously how that dynamic is obviously going to work with, them being parents, with Betty always getting involved. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a bloody spin-off for these two. I don't think it'll get many views personally, but hey ho, it's TLC, so they'll probably try it anyway. They did it with the family Chantel. They did it with the sisters, the Silver sisters. So you never know. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as you know, of course, there'll be a live stream later on today on a Monday. So I'll be there for that as well. Thank you so much for your time. Peace.